What's up, everybody? I'm Jesse Showalter, and in this episode, I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite free resources for those of you that want to learn front-end development in 2018. So if you want to learn HTML and CSS and JavaScript, and learn how to build up that skill set, build websites and applications, get your first job as a front-end developer, then this is the video for you, because I'm going to be sharing free stuff. Free stuff's the best kind of stuff, and it's the stuff that's going to help you accomplish your goals, so stick around. The first learning site epitomizes free education for development, and that is Free Code Camp. Probably one of my favorites on the list. The curriculum is solid, and I think the forums where you can actually find answers to the questions and solutions to the problems, all really, really good. If you just go through from top to bottom, you're gonna learn everything from HTML and CSS, JavaScript, jQuery plugins. You're gonna learn APIs and even a little bit of back-end development. You're gonna learn how to think like a programmer, which is pretty awesome. Free Code Camp, absolutely love it. Once you've kind of gotten your wits about you with HTML and CSS and you've taken some of those JavaScript courses, you probably want to learn by doing and actually creating some projects. And Wes Boss has created an awesome program called JavaScript 30. It's absolutely free. It's 30 days of JavaScript where you're going to build drum machines and all sorts of different applications using nothing but vanilla JavaScript, and it's absolutely out of this world. He recommends that you have some sort of accountability buddy so that you and somebody else can kind of program at the same time and help each other out. Really great teacher. Wes Boss is pretty stupendous. Third is the website of Jen Simmons, specifically her lab.jensimmons.com. It's super off the charts if you want to learn layout and CSS, and right now especially CSS Grid, which is like the super hotness. You can learn how to do amazing things. She's so stinking good and so smart, and she's a great teacher. Jen Simmons, all the way. Last one on the list is actually a fun little iOS app, and it's called Grasshopper. It's free to download, and it's kind of like Duolingo for code. It just kind of has simple little levels that you can kind of like run through and hit each one of those levels, and then each day it'll actually push notify and ask you one little question and ask if you can solve that puzzle. So it's kind of like a constant thing, something just to kind of keep your mind on development, which I think is cool, so maybe check out Grasshopper. Next section is going to be YouTube channels, because there's a lot of amazing YouTubers out there that put out free content, and I watch these channels if I'm really looking for a specific tutorial on something. And the first on the list, you gotta go with the man, and that's Derek Banas. He has so many amazing tutorials, and he's the guy that, like, I think started the learn jQuery in 90 minutes, learn JavaScript in 90 minutes, and he'll teach you anything you want to know about development. I think he knows like every language there is known to man, I'm pretty sure. Derek? Do you know every language that there is known to man? But his YouTube channel, he's a good teacher. He actually explains what he's doing while he's doing it. You gotta love that. And he's really, really thorough about everything he goes through. So I recommend Derek Banas if you're looking for something really, really like honed in. Okay, next up on the list for YouTube channels is Level Up Tuts. They have like over 230,000 subscribers, so they gotta be doing something right. The lead instructor there, his name is Scott, I think, Tolinsky. Him and Wes Boss actually have a podcast called Syntax you should check out. It's a pretty fun podcast. But Scott Tolinsky and Level Up Tuts, he just has like this wealth of like content up on his channel. So if there's anything you want to learn, he most likely has a series on that thing, not just one, but like a series. Okay, next up on the list is Dev Tips. This is Travis Nielsen's old channel. He recently sold it and he started a new channel. He's doing something different on his new channel. I'm totally subscribing and supporting him. He's an awesome guy. But the amount of content that he poured into Dev Tips, which the new owners of the channel are actually keeping it up and doing some new stuff. They did a series about React, but there's lots there about HTML and CSS and web design and web development for those of you that want to learn. He's just awesome, like kind of like a role model of mine. He just seems like a really nice guy. You like watching him. Gotta love Dev Tips, gotta love Travis Nielsen. Okay, next category on the list is books. I've recommended a few books about web design or web development before in the past in different videos. I'm gonna link some cards to them up here. First up on the list is Eloquent JavaScript. In my opinion, the best book on this list if you want to learn about JavaScript. It's easy to understand. It covers every single kind of aspect in really, I mean, I don't want to say bite-sized because the chapters are larger, but in easy to understand and actually like digestible portions. There's projects in there, so you're kind of building things as you go. There's basic all the way to really, really advanced concepts, like they're talking about scopes and closures and variables and all that kind of stuff all the way through. And it's very up to date. It's constantly updated. The link is down in the description. Eloquent JavaScript, lights out. Best book ever. Next is a JavaScript series called You Don't Know JavaScript. You can find the link down in the description. It'll actually take you to the GitHub repo, and that book is pretty rocking as well. It's actually broken up into like 4 or 5 books, so you just start with one and read them through, and it has really, really good code snippets and examples, things you can follow along with. You don't know JavaScript, it says it right there in the name. You should read this book, or books. Okay, next category on the list is tools. These are things that you're gonna use along your way as you're learning. First and foremost, if you don't have a CodePen account, you gotta open up a CodePen account. It's free to do. There's a bunch of paid plans, and if you want to, you should definitely support it because it's an awesome tool to use, but the free plan is rocking. CodePen is basically a place where you can go code in the browser without having to set up any sort of development environment. It has pre-processing, it has CoffeeScript, it has all the kind of stuff you might want to use as you level up your skills, and all the basic stuff too. And it's really easy to just create a new pen. You could share that pen, you know, let other people like fork it. So I think CodePen is an awesome thing. You must have it, gotta have it. Next up, you gotta have a good text editor if you're gonna do any of these things locally on your machine. I recommend either Atom or the new VS Code is a really, really good one as well. Features that I love about these two text editors, and really can download both of them and see which one you like most, but things like, you know, really awesome themes and like syntax highlighting, great plugins and extensions. Also, you have like the terminal and GitHub like all built into it right there. So it makes it really, really easy to use a code editor and actually code things out as you go. So I just recommend, you know, either one of those. Get started with those. Okay, last category on the list is help. I just called this category places to go to get help. First and foremost, if you need help, you gotta go to Stack Overflow. If you've ever had a question, you can ask it there, but most likely that question has already been asked because you're not that original and you're not trying to create or program or develop something that's that original either, most likely. So the answer has probably already been answered on Stack Overflow. If you just Google something, you're gonna find most likely 9 or 10 links to a Stack Overflow post where you can see the different answers there. My recommendation when using Stack Overflow is not just to copy, but to try to understand. I think that's a really important thing. Next up, an amazing site. If you wanna learn CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and that's CSStricks.com. So Chris Collier, one of the kind of bigger names in the front-end development or web design kind of community, great teacher. Also one of the founders of CodePen, so you can tell he knows his stuff. If there's not 9 or 10 Stack Overflow links when you Google something, there's probably at least 3 or 4 CSS tricks links there as well. It's just a wealth of content. You can spend hours reading articles and posts and people's comments and tutorials, and he has a YouTube channel as well, but I think really the site itself has become less of just like a helpful site and more of a straight up educational resource for those of us that are going, how do I do this? CSS tricks, that's how you do it. Well, that's it. That's my list of my favorite free resources for those of you wanting to learn front-end development this year. I hope you guys enjoyed the list. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I make lots of videos about design and development and tech, so maybe stick around and hang out with me. If you have any questions at all, or maybe you have some free resources that you really love that I missed on this list, then maybe leave those down in the comments and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. I hope you're designing amazing things. Hope you're coding amazing things. And I hope that you take advantage of all the free resources that are out there. I'll see you in the next one.